What's up, nerds? Welcome to another vlog here on the DNA Network. I'm Corey, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm excited for Breath of the Wild. Now, I know I've done this before on other shows, and it's kind of late after E3 was like 6 months ago, and Switch isn't coming out for another 4 months, and Zelda has been delayed till June, rumored. So, why am I excited for Breath of the Wild, and why am I talking about it now? Well, let me tell you why I'm excited for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and why I'm excited for it right now. So, I've been watching a lot of gameplay on Final Fantasy 15 and the Horizon trailer came out. And it's gotten me really excited for these action RPGs and open world style games. And I'm really excited to jump back into games like that. Uh, in fact, I actually just re-downloaded Fallout New Vegas, and a lot of you know I don't really like Bethesda games all that much, but I did really love New Vegas for some reason. So uh, I'm trying to find something that will fix that, and I've actually turned on my Wii U to play through Twilight Princess again because of the Wolf Link amiibo and how it interacts with your Breath of the Wild game. Because Link with a pet wolf is all I've ever wanted in a game ever. So I'm gonna try to level up that amiibo. But in the meantime, like I'm really excited for Breath of the Wild just because especially because of the Switch and what Nintendo's doing there. I really feel like Nintendo has done their homework on what they need to do to become more modern and more competitive in today's market. They've been relying on where Nintendo people will buy us. Where Nintendo, we're here. Our games are our legacy. They evoke nostalgia. Stuff like that. But Nintendo's reaching a point where the generation growing up now is playing on iPads and iPhones. And yes, I realize Nintendo's making that jump now, but last year, 2 years ago, even 5 years ago, they weren't thinking of that. And there's a whole generation that doesn't even know Nintendo like we do. There's a whole generation that doesn't play Game Boy; they play iPhones. So, I'm excited because this Zelda game is what's going to propel Nintendo to a modern era. I think a lot of people who love Skyrim, who love The Witcher, who love games like that are going to look at Zelda and be like, "Whoa, this game is kind of like those games. I want to explore. I want to see what it's like. I want to see what it does different because it's Nintendo." Because a lot of people are always interested in Nintendo. We had this discussion on Pow Block the other day. People are always interested in Nintendo. People don't always buy Nintendo because all they want to play is Mario and Zelda, and the other games that people love, like Metroid and Star Fox and stuff, either they come out with a game that's not quite the game before it, or B, it doesn't sell enough, so Nintendo doesn't put the resources in to make it. And then everything else, like Donkey Kong, Kirby, Yoshi, most people my age look at that and they're like, that looks like a kid's game, which I agree. Those games do look like kids games, and I've played them all and I like those games a lot. But I do have to agree where like the average gamer that's my age will look at it and be like, no, I want something that I want something more realistic. I want something more mature, and that's when they go to something like Skyrim or even Horizon when it comes out in February. So uh, I'm excited for Breath of the Wild because it looks like it's taking that step into the evolution of what Nintendo can become. Uh, Excuse me. Uh, I know Nintendo can be annoying sometimes. I know they can make decisions that make us question how they're still in business. I know they make decisions on, you know, they are trying to make decisions based on their name alone. Well, Switch looks like Nintendo's doing their homework with Switch because that console looks like everything good about Nintendo. They have the games on there. It's a portable machine that can also hook up to your TV, which is what people want Nintendo to do from the beginning. And they've experimented multiple times. They've thrown DS games on Virtual Console. The Wii U was like a sad attempt at this. Don't get me wrong, I love my Wii U, but I can't even go into the next room without it losing signal to my Wii U if I just want to play on the gamepad. And I think the Switch is going to do that. Miraculously, just I'm going to be able to play in bed. I'm going to be able to play on the couch watching TV with my wife. I'm going to be able to take it with me on a trip and play the same experience that I can play at home. And I'm really excited that Zelda is going to be the game that kind of forces that out of people. If people buy a Switch and they buy a Zelda, they can take it everywhere, and that's something no other company can do. And putting that large of a game on something like that is just going to be like, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. So I'm excited to see Zelda evolve. And the Switch is an evolution for Nintendo also. It's not a toy. It looks like a sleek piece of machinery. It looks like a sleek piece of technology. Zelda looks like it's evolving into the 21st century in terms of game development, world building, world design. It's moving away from the standard Zelda games and moving into, oh, look, I can run over here and do whatever I want. Oh, I can go over here and do whatever I want. There's not really a linear structure, and that's great. We saw that a little bit with A Link Between Worlds. You can pretty much go wherever you wanted to an extent, but this really seems like they're blowing the door wide open on that. So that's kind of where I stand on Breath of the Wild. I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm actually playing through Twilight Princess right now again to level up that amiibo. I'm going to try to go back and play Skyward Sword because that's the only Zelda game I haven't beaten at least once in terms of the console games, and that saddens me because that story is pretty good, but like the motion controls, I can't do the motion controls. So we'll see. We'll see if something like that actually happens. But there's so many other games I want to play right now after Twilight Princess. I want to play through the campaigns of all the games I got on Black Friday. I want to play through. I want to eventually try to get Final Fantasy 15 soon and play through that because that game looks amazing, and I need to start putting money away for that Switch in those games. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really excited for Breath of the Wild, and I can't stop thinking about it because all these other games are doing what I think Zelda should have done 10 years ago. And now that Zelda's here, that's like every time I see this, like every time I see a Horizon trailer, every time I see a Final Fantasy trailer, every time I see one of these trailers go up, I'm like, man, I want Zelda. I can't wait for Zelda. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Remember, you can find all of our content on DNAnetwork.net. You can find one of my vlogs daily here on the DNA Network. You can also find our podcast, NGR Radio, every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Play, as well as the video version right here on youtube.com/Digital Nerd Advocates Network. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and until tomorrow, love you.